Hello, class. I wanted to talk to you today about ecosystems, and we're talking about predator and prey relations. Here we have the things that make up an ecosystem. The biotic things, bio means life, so biotic means living things. Abiotic is the opposite of living things, so we're talking about non living things. The biotic items in the illustration are the animals and the plants. The abiotic things are things like land, the air, the water, and the sun. An ecosystem is made up of all living things and non living things in an area. Here we have the water, the fish, the ground, the soil, the air, the birds, the trees, the animals. All of that makes up an ecosystem. An ecosystem is everything in the ecosystem also has a role or a job to do. Non-living and living things plays part of the ecosystem and interact in many ways. The entire system works together to meet the needs of all of its parts. So biotic plus abiotic equals ecosystem. Here we have several different kinds of ecosystems. We have a watery ecosystem, a marine ecosystem with tropical fish. We have a pond and a valley ecosystem. Here we have an ecosystem, lots of different kind of animals. When you have lots of different animals and different plants, we call that biodiversity, because bio means life, and we know diversity means different things or different ways. So we have lots of ways to show life in the area. An ecosystem, if we're talking about different levels of organization of the ecosystem, the biosphere is the entire section of the world that is living. An ecosystem is all of the living and non-living things in a certain area. A community is just a community of animals that live in the area. And a population are all of the same type of animals in an area. So for example, a community are all of the animals in a farm, and a population are maybe all of the ants in the ant hill, or all of the little birds in the nest. That'd be a population. Here we can see an individual, and we have lots of individuals, same individuals, or a population. A community is all of the living things in the area. An ecosystem is living and non-living, and the biosphere is the whole living part of the world. So I've got a question for you. We have, is it a community or a population? We have all bears, so this would be a population. We have all zebras, that's a population. We have different kind of animals, that's a community. Different types of animals is a community. An ecosystem. We have two new words today. It's called niche and habitat. Some say niche, some say niche. Either one is acceptable. And a habitat. So a niche is the animal's role, and a habitat is where the animal lives. So a niche refers to an organism's role in a community, mostly their feeding role. This allows different species to coexist and contribute in a different way to the overall stability of the ecosystem. For example, here are three birds living in different places in the tree. This bird eats things low to the ground. This bird eats things middle way through the forest, and this bird eats things high in the forest. This is their niche. This is their job. So a giraffe's niche is to feed on the canopy of the top of the trees. A squirrel's niche is to eat the acorns, and a bee's niche is to make honey and pollinate flowers, and so forth. An ecosystem in a habitat, this is a place where an organism lives. We know the fish live in the water, and birds near the waterfowl also live near the water. Now, let's talk about predator and prey relation. A predator is an organism that eats another organism. So a predator is an organism with a mouth that eats other organisms, usually other animals. A prey is an organism or an animal that eats that gets eaten, and the prey is Prey. I like to remember that because the Prey is maybe saying Pray. Please don't eat me. So here we have predator and prey, very important to the ecosystem. The bear is a predator and the fish is the prey. Here we have a lion is a predator, zebra is the prey. Now, sometimes the crab could be a predator, but he's also prey. He's in the middle of the food chain. He is prey to a seagull. Seagulls or other birds maybe want to eat the crab. Maybe humans do. So he tries to hide himself. He is the same color as the sand. Hopefully no one can see him and he will live a long time. This is a graph. This shows important things. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this in the result of the crab and the seagull, okay? So let's say the crab is the green line and the seagull is the red line. So here we see there's lots of, up here on the top of the graph, there's lots of crab in the area. Well, the seagulls find that out, and there's lots of seagulls coming to eat the crab. Well, when there's a lot of seagulls come and eat the crab population goes down, of course. When the crab population goes down all the way almost like really low, then there's not many seagulls. So the seagulls go somewhere else and find something else to eat. And then the crab population increases. After that, the seagulls find more crab in that area and they can come back. So as the prey population increases, the predator population increases. As the prey population decreases, the predator population decreases. When there's more crab, there can be more seagulls. When there's less crab, there can be less seagulls. And this keeps everything in balance. The relationships among living organisms keep the ecosystem in balance.